Guys, let's talk about fairway woods. So this is a club which causes a huge amount of problem for lots of amateur golfers, and I'm going to tell you exactly what you need to start doing to get better with these sort of fairway woods. And a really good example of this is my wife. So my wife Anna has recently started to learn how to play golf, and she has like a particular sort of swing issue, which means that as the clubs get longer, it's harder for her to control. And again, this is really common for lots of amateur golfers that I work with as well. So I wanted to share this because I'll see sometimes videos and tips with fairway woods, and people say, oh, you've got to change your approach towards a fairway wood. You really don't. The only difference is the length of the club, right? That is the big difference here. So the club is longer, so therefore it is harder to be able to guarantee to sort of hit it straight. And the thing that you want to work on is relatively straightforward and simple, and it is known as swing plane. So I've got my golf ball sitting here. I've got an alignment stick on the floor, and I've got another alignment stick here, which I'm going to hold underneath the club shaft like so. And what you are looking to do is you are looking to produce a golf swing where the club travels straight here. And then as you get into like an early backswing position, see my club shaft is pointing towards the target line. Top of the backswing is still pointing towards my target line. Early downswing is at my target line. And as long as you can get into a position here and here, where you're keeping the club shaft pointing on that target line, then I promise you, you're going to be absolutely fine. Because the problem that happens for Anna is that she gets the club to what's known as laid off. So actually, if I use this again, so she has a tendency to sort of go okay in the first bit, but then the club points over there, too horizontal. And then this means that as she comes down, the club kind of ends up over here, and the club ends up too far out, coming in towards the bottom. So then her arms end up theoretically too far away from her. That's why she can't strike down. It's got to be more this way. And I'll meet some golfers that are opposite to that. They'll kind of get too laid off again, similar to Anna, but then they'll get too steep coming down. So, but the point is that you have the same swing fault. Okay, but obviously if I was to sort of hit like a 7-iron here, or do it with a 7-iron, you can see the way that if I swing slightly out to in or above plane, and then I use my fairway wood, you can see how much further the 3-wood out, but just because of the length of it. So the swing is exactly the same. I'm just saying that if you do have a slight sort of issue with your swing or a slight discrepancy with your swing plane, it just gets massively exasperated when the club gets longer. And that's pretty common in golf, right? The longer clubs are harder to use, and they show up your sort of technical vulnerability a little bit more, but equally the most important clubs, because, well, for Anna, for example, at the moment, you know, long par 4s and par 5s are really difficult holes because we've only got a club which goes about 120 yards. And if we hit that really well, we have to hit like 4 of those really well in succession to get anywhere near a green, and that's quite demanding. So you do need to use your fairway woods. What I would suggest is practice your swing plane. And a good position is if you can kind of get the club going back here where the club shaft is on plane, up to the top, and then back here where it's on plane, then you'll be fine. And those are really solid checkpoints that I use all the time with students of mine. So work on it, okay? And I'll see you guys again really soon.